Hello. Hopefully everybody is doing okay after our torrential rainfall overnight. Um, I can certainly empathize and understand why some people may not have been able to make it to class today simply because of the flooding. Even I had to do some cross-country maneuvering to be able to make it to work here at Mitchell Tech today. So with that, I just want you to know that I am doing this little video so that you know what we did in class. If you have any questions, please don't hesitate to ask. The assignment is open in my MTI. It is not due until Tuesday. We're working on envelopes and labels. There were just a couple of other things that I brought up in class, so I'm going to go over those items with you as well. So when you launch Microsoft Word, it'll take a minute here for it to boot up, but you come to what's called the Backstage View. So this view that opens when you click on your Word icon is called the Backstage View. And in a couple of the classes, we did talk the other day about templates. In a couple of the classes, we did not talk about templates. So what I wanted to point out is a template is simply something that's pre-formatted. So you can see here the modern chronological resume template. If I click on that, it takes me out, and if I click on create, it's going to show me the template is already pre-formatted. So you can see the font's larger, things are bolded. I can simply click and type. So that is probably the beauty of a template, but it's also pre-formatted. So you can see there's some green color here. The font size is different here. My headings are nice and bolded here. Everything is just simply click and type when I want to enter information. So I'm going to go ahead and close this. I don't really want to save that. I will relaunch Word, and again, it takes me to the Backstage View. Let's say that there's a template that you want to use when you click on more templates that is not in the list. So you have a variety of things, calendars, you have some different types of flyers, you have some certificates. These categories allow you to search by category for a particular template, but maybe I want to do a to-do list, have lots of things to do with all of my water. So there are a couple of different options for your to-do list, and so you can take a look at those. So that's the Backstage View. When you click on Home, it takes you back to that original location. You can see documents that you've recently worked with, some that you may have pinned or saved, and then some that might be shared. You can also create a new document from here, or you can open a document from here. So I just wanted to point this view out to you. Also, when we talk about a template, the blank document is actually a template, because if you click on that, you have left justified text, you have Calibri, 11 point, your line spacing is automatically 1.15, so it is actually a template. We reviewed a little bit with numbered and bulleted lists. So if I just come up here under the Home tab in the paragraph grouping and click on a number for the numbering, my favorite foods, chocolate, chicken, ice cream, not really, but I'll use it, and tacos. So I numbered those. If you highlight them like I showed you the other day, you can pick a different numbering format. But even more important, let's say that ice cream is something that I like. I can press enter and I just get carried away. vanilla. I type vanilla, strawberry, caramel. And it's like, oh, yeah, they're foods, but they're types of ice cream. So I could highlight those. And I could choose change list level. So I could actually change my list level just like that. What some of us may choose to do is when we press enter, we just hit tab, and that will pop up there as well. So you can go ahead and change the list level. Now, I'm not really sure why, but maybe you would choose to do a different list level and pop all the way in here. Again, it's a choice, but I just wanted to show that to you and bring that up. So I hit enter twice to clear that numbering formatting, and now I'm going to work with some bullets. So I'm going to put 3 names here, and I'm going to highlight them, and I'm going to add a bullet. So by default, whatever is set to the default bullet, that's what I'm going to get. I can use different bullets. So if I don't like those bullets, again, I can change list level. So I could indent my list level if I want a different one. But I can also change that bullet. So where it says define new bullet, you click on that, go to symbol, and then find like your wingdings, webdings, and maybe scroll through that and find something that you want to use. Maybe I'll use a musical note. So you can single click and choose OK, or you can double click and it will add that. So there's a new bullet that you've created. And you will see that if you go up into your bullets list, it is there because that's the one you just created. So you can see how much fun I've had in classes today creating all of these different bullets. Also, when you do presentations, you could do a different type of bullet. So in one of my classes today, they talked about tractors, and they chose John Deere, Case IH, New Holland, and I think maybe Versatile or something, but I'll leave that one off. So I can highlight that, and I can come up here to bullet, and where it says define new bullet, I'm going to choose picture. Then I'm going to go ahead and go out and find tractor. And it brings me to different tractors. So, you know, since I've got a John Deere is green and a Case IH is red and a New Holland is blue or whatever, maybe I want to choose a generic one. So I click on that, insert it. So now that becomes my new bullet. Or some people said they didn't care. So we went back to define new bullet, chose a picture, did the tractor, searched it, and then just picked one. So I could pick this one and insert it. And they don't have to be clip art. I mean, they can actually be photographs. So it's entirely up to you. You can see in my bullet list that we did a thermometer, we did a cake. So you can do all different types of bullets, but just wanted to make sure to point that out. When you're working with PowerPoints and things, it just kind of jazzes them up a little bit. So the next thing I want to do is show you, I'll do a new document. We did envelopes and labels. So I'm going to go to the Mailings tab, click on Envelopes. And in my top box, I'm going to add my delivery address. So let's say I'm going to send something to Mitchell Tech. 1800 East Spruce. Notice abbreviations. You don't write out the word East. You don't write out the word Street. Mitchell space SD. All states have a 2-character abbreviation, and then you do a space and the zip code. This is the new format, so you don't use any punctuation in your addresses. The return address is my address. So Tammy Munson, put my address in here. Again, no punctuation. Whoops. And there's my return address. Now what I need to do when this information is added is I need to choose options. And from options, I can choose my envelope size. 10 is the long one. I always say 6 3/4 is the short one. You guys can just leave the default for your assignment. You don't have to change the fonts for your delivery address or your return address, but you certainly can. If you change the fonts for the delivery address, that's who it's going to. I wouldn't go any bigger than 16, and do not add any color because red, green, and blue, according to the postmaster, will mess with the scanning machines, and then you may get your envelope delivered to your destination later than what you expect. The return address, however, is different. So I could go ahead and do my monotype curvosa. I could bold it if I wanted to, italicize it if I wanted to. I'm not going to go any bigger than a 12 because I don't want it to overpower my delivery address. And then I'm going to pick a color because, hey, this is my delivery address, and so let's kind of jazz it up a little bit. So that's what it will look like. And I click OK. Choose OK on the window, and then you can see how your addresses will be. Again, in your assignment that you're going to do, you don't have to make any changes to the font. Once you have it done, you choose Add to Document, and you'll get a box that says, do you want to save this? No, I don't. You can if you want to, and then you could omit it later. If yours doesn't show up in this view, go to the View tab, and instead of, side to side, maybe you'll choose vertical. Right now, because I am doing a screen capture, it's showing up that way. But I just want you to know that in print layout view, usually the envelope shows up at the top of the letter. And so then you just do a file save as, and you can submit that to me. I'm going to go ahead and do a Control N for a new document, and we're going to do labels. So I go to the Mailings tab, I choose Labels, and for your assignment, you are going to be typing in 6 separate labels. So the first thing you do, you leave the address box blank. You click on Options. You want the label vendor to be Avery US Letter, and you want to choose label 5160. So if mine shows up like this, I'm going to, make sure I choose, some people's defaults to Microsoft. So scroll down and choose Avery US Letter, click in the product number box and type the number 5 because you want a 5160. So then scroll down, find 5160, and click on it for address label. Choose OK, and then New Document. So now I can type whatever labels in here that I want to type. So, whoops. I can go ahead and type in my label. And then I can just click over here and I could type my next label. So I just wanted to point that out to you. Once you have your 6 labels typed in for your assignment, you just do a file save as and you can upload that into my MTI. I'm going to go ahead and close all of these quickly. And out in my MTI, you guys will notice that you do have the assignment that is open. Let me go ahead and see if I can pull it up real quick here, and I will share it with you. Okay, so depending on what class you're in, you can go out here and go to coursework, and you should be able to see what your assignment is. It's called Envelopes and Labels. You can go ahead and click on it, and then you can click on the assignment that you have to do, and you can see here's the instruction sheet. It will open up for you in a Word document, and so you can see your instructions. I want you to make sure that you type in the label or the envelope information exactly as you see it, which means that everything is all capitalized in the envelope. So everything capitalized, no end mark punctuation. In the title, it does not end with a period. That's the period at the end of the sentence. So when you name it, don't put the period at the end. Mailing labels, Avery US Letter, 5160. That's the template you need. I don't care if it says Easy Peel or not. Again, 6-labels Ohio, no period at the end. And then capitalize these labels. You'll type each one of them in one time. The THs may superscript up because that's part of the template. That's fine, but everything else should be capitalized. If you guys have any questions, please don't hesitate to ask. The assignment is not due until Tuesday, so hopefully everybody has a great weekend. Thanks.